Hello everyone at welcome po sa ating channel. This is Coach Jarret. Today is a Saturday and usually po hindi po tayo nagla-live stream pag Saturdays and you know all that. But we have a very, very, very special guest and kaya medyo we will give time para sa ating very, very special guest na ito. Pero mga kaibigan, no, bago tayo mag-umpisa dyan, no, let's don't forget sa mga bago po ngayon sa ating channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, wag niyo pong kalimutan na meron po tayong notification bell din sa ating tabi. Meron tayong notification bell. And please don't forget na tayo rin po ay merong Facebook page at Coach Jarret. Coach Jarret din po pangalan nating Facebook page, mga kaibigan. Ayan. At syempre, bago tayo magpatuloy, meron tayong obligatory na shoutout sa ating mga kaibigan dyan sa Sendwave, mga kaibigan. So si Sendwave po, mga kaibigan ko, kayo po ay nakabase sa US, UK, Canada, Italy, France, Spain, and Ireland. Ay pwede po kayo magpadala na inyong mga remittances sa Pilipinas sa pamamagitan po ng Sendwave. Okay, just download it sa Google Play and sa Apple App Store. And immediately after that, mga kaibigan, pag magpapadala na kayo, pag nag-sign up kayo, mga kaibigan, please don't forget to use the promo code Coach Jarret para meron po kayong makuhang $10 credit. Ayan, mga kaibigan. So, eto na, mga kaibigan. Without further ado, we have on our channel today the legendary to, mga kaibigan. The legendary lawyer, politician, and now senator pala, Senate President, and now Chief Presidential Legal Counsel for the President BBM administration, Chief Juan Ponce Enrile. Ayan. Hello sir, good afternoon po. Welcome po sa ating channel. This is Coach Jarret.
Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. At salamat sa anyaya ninyo sa akin na dumalo dito sa talakayan ninyo.
Thank you very much po sir for allotting your time para po sa ating channel. And we all know how legendary you are in terms of Philippine politics. And kaya po we are very, very honored to have you here po sa ating pong channel. Thank you very much po.
Salamat. Thank you.
Opo. Chief, may tanong lang po ako, Chief, no? From Senate President, and then you're coming out of retirement now to be the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel of President Bongbong Marcos. How did PBBM po approach you and offered you this new role?
Well, during the election this year, we worked together in the province of Cagayan. I come from there, and I helped him as I helped his father before in the election. And then after he was elected, I was consulted on some issues of national concern. I was not really expecting that I would be asked to participate in his regime. But his executive secretary, who was his campaign manager, Secretary Vic Rodriguez, one evening called me up and said, Manong, the president would like to ask you to join the cabinet to help. And I said, well, I'm 98, going 99. I hope I can contribute. I will, if that is his wish, I said. Only I would like you to provide me with an office where I do not have to climb any stairway, because although I can still negotiate going up the stairs, I know Malacanang, and the stairway of Malacanang is quite uh, high, I said. So I would rather prefer to have a ground floor place to work if I have to join the regime of the president. And so I agreed to join his government. However, I got sick with COVID for a while.
Yes.
I stayed in the hospital. After staying in the hospital earlier for pneumonia, I got well of pneumonia, but then 5 days later, after coming from Makati Med, I was hit with COVID, although the COVID that hit me did not show any sign or any symptom. I was not suffering from any fever, any pain of the body, any chill or weakening, but I was discovered to be positive with the virus. So I stayed in the hospital for another 5 days and I got well.
Right.
But the after effect of the COVID on me was quite unpleasant. After I got out of the hospital, I could not sleep and then I could not eat. I lost all sense of taste. But then I got well, so I finally took my oath 3 weeks after I was appointed. So that is the story of my getting into the regime of the president.
Right, right. Chief, marami po sa amin, Chief, ang hindi po nakakaintindi sa mandato po ng Presidential Legal Counsel. Ano po ba ang duties and responsibilities po ng Chief Presidential Legal Counsel?
Madali lang yun. Ang trabaho namin, 7 kami na doon sa opisina, panay na abogado. Wala kaming ginagawa kung hindi tatrabahuin yung mga ibinabato ng presidente sa amin na question tungkol sa batas, lalo na sa saligang batas. At yung tinatawag nila na laws governing the game of nations, international law. Yun lang. Kung pag may tinanong ang presidente, tatrabahuin namin. Kagaya ng mga vetoes of bills or approval of bills. Tinitingnan namin kung may linalabag ng mga batas na ipinapasa ng Kongreso, yung mga ang saligang batas natin, lalo na. At lahat naman ng mga maaaring makagipit sa presidente tungkol sa batas o ano mang sa akala namin na tatama sa kanya politically na kaya namin sagutin o may kinauukulan sa batas, ay sasagutin namin yun.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Chief. I'm sure you have a wealth and a treasure trove of legal experience and political experience to contribute po sa pag-aaral ng mga batas na yan.
Sa tagal ko sa mundo, bago naman ako pumasok sa gobyerno noong panahon lang ni dating President Ferdinand Enrile Marcos, ay masigasig naman at malawak ang aking karanasan bilang abogado, hindi lamang sa political issues o anumang bagay na uukol sa mundo ng Pilipinas, kundi sa law practice, corporate practice, tax practice, developmental practice, agricultural experience in setting up agricultural business enterprises. Marami akong hawak na korporasyon noon, kaya hindi na ako nag-aaral eh.
Right. Experience na lang talaga, no, Chief. Sir, since you're very much in the know sa mga nagaganap po sa ating bansa ngayong araw. Isa po sa mga matunog po ngayon na issue sa ating bansa, ito pong ipinag-utos po na, or sorry, hindi po ipinag-utos, yung illegal sugar importation order number 4. At marami pong bumabatikos ngayon kay ES Vic Rodriguez tungkol po dyan. Sa inyong opinion po, Chief, ano po ba dapat yung naging, siguro po let's start with square one. Ano po ba yung tamang proseso po sa paggawa po ng sugar order?
Meron proseso yan eh. Nung kapanahonan ng kanyang tatay, pinag-aaralan niya ng Sugar Regulatory Authority, SRA. At tinitingnan kung ano ang production ng bansa natin sa asukal sapagkat marami tayong sugar central sa Pilipinas. Bago ako pumasok sa gobyerno, marami dyan sa mga sugar central na yan ay hawak ko bilang abogado nila. Kasama na dyan yung Central Azucarera de Tarlac, Central Vice, San Carlos Sugar Central, at Central Vice, Negros Oriental. Marami. Pati yung sa Cebu, sa Northern Cebu, meron sila doon. Ngayon, pangalawa, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung pangalan ng presidente at ipipirma mo ang kanyang autoridad or utos dahil mag-uutos ang presidente sa importasyon dahil sa nauutos sa ekonomiya yan eh. Masasaktan yung mga sugar farmers at sugar producers natin kung marami ang papasok na sukal dito sapagkat may mga kota-kota yan sa Amerika, sa merkado ng Amerika. Hindi mo pwedeng gagamitin yung pangalan ng presidente na wala siyang written authorization. Hindi ko alam ang nangyari dito sapagkat karaka-raka lumitaw yung issue na yan. Hindi ko alam kung may utos ang presidente o inassume nila na may utos ang presidente. Meron bang talagang shortage ng asukal sa Pilipinas na dapat dagdagan? Para sa ganun, hindi naman mapinsala yung mga industriya na gumagamit ng asukal sa bansa natin. Kailangan yan eh. Titingnan mo ang economic situation ng Pilipinas dyan sa industriya na yan. Sapagkat maraming klase yung sugar na pinoproduce natin. May A, C, B, may mga classification yan. At one of those classification is intended as a reserve for the country in case of shortage of supply. And one classification is for export to service our preferential market to the United States.
Right.
Now, in this particular case, I've been out of the government, out of the executive for quite a long time. I do not know whether there has been a modification of the process in the meantime. But that is my recollection. In this particular case, where the name of the present president was involved, I really do not know all the facts. But what I know is I saw a signature of a functionary of the government. As I think he's an undersecretary, Sebastian.
Mhm.
And signing by virtue of an approval by the president. The formal way of using the name of the president is by authority of the president.
Yes. Mhm. Yes, Chief. So it should be expressly
There must be a
communicated.
written, there must be a written authorization of the
Ay,
president. You cannot just sign, or no one, not even the executive secretary, can sign a
mhm.
document by authority of the president without the formal written approval and authority given by the president.
Ah. So in the absence po, Chief, ng isang express written authority of
Yes.
the President of the Philippines, it
Imagine
cannot
you do
happen.
not have that authority. Everybody, every Dick and Harry in the government will sign for the president
Mhm. Right,
and
right.
commit him
Correct.
just like this, commit him without his knowledge. What
Mhm.
will happen to the country? We will be
Mhm.
a halo-halo.
Correct, correct.
That,
Chief,
that
meron din po
means
mga...
that means
Go
that
ahead po.
the one involved, I'm sorry to say this, Undersecretary Sebastian was not familiar with the process in the government.
Right, right. Chief, isa po sa mga questions na lumitaw recently is because of a designation document na pinirmehan daw po ni E.S. Vic Rodriguez, granting
Nino, Nino,
blanket authority.
sino yun? Pinirmahan nila.
Si E.S. Vic po, E.S. Vic. Meron daw pong document na parang designation or appointment document na pinirmahan po ni E.S. Vic Rodriguez, that gives a blanket authority to Yusek Sebastian
But
to
that,
sign documents and letters and memos on behalf and stand as a chief of staff po yata
I
of
don't think, I don't know. I do not know whether the executive secretary indeed gave an authority to Sebastian. But if he
Mhm.
did, he's a lawyer, he does not have that authority.
Right. Mhm.
He cannot
Mhm.
sign for the president. He can sign as an executive secretary using the powers given to him under the administrative code, but not using an authority of the president to
Mhm.
sign for the president on any matter unless so authorized by law.
Mhm. Right, right. So sir, can we can we categorically say na that ES Rodriguez, Vic Rodriguez, has nothing to do with
I,
illegal sugar order?
I cannot say that. I do not know the facts. How can
Right,
I,
right.
how can I condemn a high official of the government without knowing all the facts?
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
only
yeah.
facts that I know are those that I read in social media and what you're telling me.
Mhm. Right, right. Understood po, Chief. Um, Moving forward po, Chief, meron pong, I remember it, if I remember it correctly, meron po kayong pinost sa Facebook regarding the sugar crisis in 1972. It's a very interesting post po actually. Um, can you tell us more details po about how it was resolved? And can you see parallels of that sugar crisis in the past and our current sugar crisis ngayon po?
I'm not familiar now with what happened before, but I assume that at that time we probably suspended the uh, supplying the special quota that we had for the market of the United States, sugar market of the United States. And probably we diverted the sugar reserve because you cannot use the sugar reserve unless there is the reserve for domestic use is exhausted. The government or the president then must have ordered the release of the quota for reserve, sugar reserve for domestic use.
Right, right. Um, so, Chief, question po is it mandatory po ba na mag-e-export po tayo ng sugar sa US without first meeting our own sugar requirements?
Uh, we, we have we have to export in order to earn foreign exchange. We cannot afford not to export. If you
Right.
only sell your sugar domestically for consumption, well, how do you service your foreign exchange obligations?
I
That is
see.
why America gave us a special quota,
Mhm.
being a former ward of the United States, in order to give us a chance to earn foreign exchange. But if we cannot meet the quota, then we will have to tell the United States.
Mhm. Right, right, right. Kasi po, Chief, there are some questions regarding yung sa sugar crisis na it could be fabricated po or parang merong daw hoarding na nagaganap. Kaya po meron tayong sugar crisis. What's your thoughts on that po,
Ibang, ibang,
Chief?
ibang kanya, alam naman ng Sugar Regulatory Commission or Authority ang condition ng supply and demand. Sa bansa natin, alam na yan year in, year out. That is being practiced, no? I do not know the present supply and demand condition in the country. There is a process to determine that. You can call the sugar centrals, how many tons or kilograms of sugar do they have in their current inventories in their warehouses and so forth and so on. And most of these sugars are covered by what we call cadans,
Mhm.
which are recorded by the Sugar Regulatory Authority.
Right, right, right. So, so Chief, I guess this since this is a developing story, we will hear more about your thoughts about this po in the future regarding po dito sa sugar issue. Um, another thing or topic po na pag naging usap-usapan po this week was your comments regarding former Congressman Mike Defensor. And there was a quote po in your Facebook post na you mentioned, I suggest we should be very careful in not carelessly showing an arrogance of power in our behavior as public persons, especially if
I
we are somewhat identified with the current regime.
we have settled. I have settled that with my defensor. I know him very well, way
Mhm.
back.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Mhm.
I said that because he was a candidate. He was all over social media during the last election. He was a candidate. There is a ban for all candidates of elections in the current year not to accept any appointment in the government for at least 1 year from the date of the election until that is over. 1 year is over.
Right.
That is why when I saw him in that picture, there were three of them. Mike Defensor, another one in the middle, and another one on his left. Um, on a panel, I was wondering what he was doing there in a function of the MMDA. And apart from that, he was being bruited about to be a potential appointee to that position once the ban is over. So, as a lawyer, advisor of the president, I was raising an issue because if indeed he was playing an official role in that event, then he will be violating the legal ban, and he will be including the president in a major issue, legal issue. So,
Right.
as the lawyer of the president, I have to protect him morally and legally.
Mhm.
And I don't care
Right,
who will get hit in the performance of my duty.
Mhm. Right. Agree po, Chief. Now, we have a better understanding of it po. Kasi po the way media portrayed it is like you as the chief presidential legal counsel is nitpicking and parang um just for the sake of saying something against former congressman defensor. But now we realize na it is because it will
Hindi,
affect.
hindi lang para kay Mike Defensor yun.
Right.
Maraming tumakbo nung last election na potential appointees during in the government. And so I was warning them. I said, dahan-dahan kayo. Sobrang naman yan. Dahan-dahan kayo. Dahil kung ganyan kayo, you will clash with my office. I was warning them. Because really, I will have to engage them if they're going to violate the law. I don't want the president to be involved in a legal violation.
Right. Mhm. Yeah, kasi it will expose him legally doon po sa appointment ban. Okay. Now I understand.
Sabi niya, nakalagay sa kanyang sumpa, support and defend the Constitution, obey all the laws, uh, decrees, and legal orders. Ano ba yun? Sinumpaan ng presidente yun eh.
Right.
Somebody will trample upon that oath.
Mhm. Correct. Sir, Chief, meron din pong may mga nagko-comment din na bakit nyo raw po these are not my words. Bakit nyo raw po tinitira ang isa nyong kaalyado? Ano po masasabi nyo po dito sa mga ganito pong
Alam mo sa gobyerno, kahit kapatid ko, kung yung hindi tamang sa akala ko hindi tama yung ginagawa niya, papansinin ko. Hindi walang personalan dito.
Right.
It's a matter of governing the country properly. Hindi tayo ito eh.
Right.
Wala magkikisama ka para maganda ang samahan at harmonious ang regime ng isang presidente. Pero walang takipan.
Mhm.
Kung ako magkamali, let them expose me.
Right. And I guess that goes to everyone who's surrounding PBBM right now. Marami po ba talagang, well, and this is just an opinion po, no, Chief. Um, in your observation po, marami po bang mga nakapaligid kay PBBM ngayon who has tendencies to take undue advantage of his kindness, kasi yun po yung na-mention niyo po sa inyong
Hindi
Facebook
ko alam.
post.
But I'm warning those who will try because they will not pass my line.
Right, right. So warning na po sa inyo lahat 'yan. Galing kay Chief Enrile. Sir, I guess a few more questions before we end po, kung okay lang po, Chief. Knowing po na very very mainit ang mata ng publiko kay President Bongbong Marcos. Um, do you have a specific strategy on how to protect the president sa mga iba't ibang batikos and legal exposure?
If I have, I will not tell you.
Tama naman. Well, that is true. But sir, and this is one last question po. Do you have do you s- I'm looking for your memoirs all over the place, and all I can see is in Amazon, Kindle version. Do you is it out of print already po yung memoirs niyo po?
ABS-CBN, the publisher, printed, I think, 30,000 copies.
I
I
see.
think that's all gone.
Mhm. Okay, kaya pala wala na. Kaya po pala. But I've been really looking for it. I'm really curious to read it, but it seems sa Kindle na lang ako magbabasa. But Sir JPE, Chief, I guess if you have any words po for our audience who are supporting PBBM, would you like to say something po, or some words to our audience po today?
Alam ninyo, ako po hindi nagsasalita kung hindi ako tatanungin. Yan ang ugali ko at yun ang gagawin ko para sa presidente. Let's talk, walang mistake.
Right, right. So less talk, less mistakes, and that is, I guess, a very very good philosophy in life po, Chief. So there, I guess that will be it. Presidential Legal Advisor Juan Ponce Enrile. And sir, I would like to really extend my thank you po sa inyo for allowing me to interview you po and to
And,
accommodating me po.
and salamat din sa iyo.
Mhm.
Nagtanong ka ng mga question, sasagutin ko yung question mo. Kaya lang, kung yung mga speculation, I will not deal with it.
It's okay po, sir. No problem po. I guess it is it's the best way to deal with an interview pagdating sa mga speculations. Sa tulad nga po na sinabi niyo, Chief, less talk, less mistakes. And I will take that to heart.
I'm not
So
willing to I'm willing to debate with anybody involving any issue that will come up.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. Sir, I hope I can invite you again in the future when pag there are other big issues na lumabas.
Surely when it concerns the office of the president.
Yes, yes po. And I'll make sure to take note of that po. Sir, once again po, once again everyone, the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel of President Bongbong Marcos, Chief Juan Ponce Enrile. Sir, thank you very much po for the time.
Salamat din sa iyo. Salamat.
Thank you po. God bless you po, sir. God bless po.
Same to you.
So ayan mga kaibigan, we have that concludes our interview with Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile. Marami tayong nakuha, no? Marami tayong especially doon sa sugar order, ang dami kong na-pick up mga kaibigan. Sana na-pick up niyo rin yung mga bits and pieces na sinabi niya. So, apparently, one thing we can get is that pagdating po dun sa sugar order at yung paggamit ng pirma ng presidente, it has to be explicitly written authorization. So mga kaibigan, matindi-tindi yun. Kung hindi makakapagpakita ng written authorization, wala. Nga. So, yung dokumento na lumalabas diyan sa tabi-tabi, and I know that document and I've seen it, mga kaibigan. Lagay ko ba dito? Lagay ko na nga dito. Wait lang. Lalagay ko sa live stream natin para makita nyo na rin. Para hindi masyadong, what do you call this? Hindi masyadong malabo yung pinag-uusapan natin. Ilalagay ko na rin dito. Wait lang. I think si Daily Tribune ng unang nag-post. And then inilabas siya, yun na yung ginagawang reference ngayon ng mga iba't ibang tao to implicate ES Vic Rodriguez. Okay, so pakita ko na rin sa inyo kasi I have two things to say about this document na I think is very very important na maintindihan natin lahat. Kasi maraming po nagsasabi na itong dokumento raw implicates si ES Vic Rodriguez. Now, again, mga kaibigan, let us be truthful and fair. Okay? Number 1 po, let's be truthful. Number 2, let us be fair. Kasi mga kaibigan, mukhang medyo mali po yata ang pagkakabato ng accusations pagdating dito sa dokumento na to. Pakita ko lang ha. Kasi yan. So ito, nakita ko to kumakalat sa social media and then sinasabi sa akin na ito raw yung dahilan kung bakit pumirma. Yan. Memorandum from the Executive Secretary for Undersecretary Leocadio S. Sebastian. Subject, designation as Undersecretary for Operations of the Department of Agriculture and grant of additional authorities and functions. Okay. 2 things. Number 1. Number 1. Kung babasahin nyo to, ito yung lagi nilang binibring up eh. Ito, letter B. Yan. Signs, contracts, memoranda of agreement, administrative issuances, instruments, and administrative and financial documents necessary to carry out department objectives, policies, functions, plans, programs, and projects for the efficient and effective operations of the DA, including those enumerated in the DA General Memorandum Order Number 3, 2016. Okay, tingnan natin yan. DA. So there. As amended by DA GMO number 1 of 2018. Ngayon, mga kaibigan, sinabi po ni Attorney Trixie kagabi na ito pong papeles na to does not include, linawin po natin ha, it does not include the convening of the Sugar Regulatory Board. Convening of the Sugar Regulatory Board. Ngayon, mga kaibigan, sa sinabi po kanina ni Chief JPE, Juan Ponce Enrile, mukha ba tong written consent or written authorization to sign for the President of the Philippines pagdating sa SRA? Di ba? Hindi. Ngayon, mga kaibigan, kung meron po mga babatikos dito, kailangan, ang ipakita po nila, hindi ito. Kasi po, mga kaibigan, ito po ay isang appointment paper or designation paper. Naalala nyo po dati nung binatikos natin si ESB? Ito po yung hinahanap natin. Ito na po yung hinahanap natin na yun. Ito po yung hinahanap natin nun. Di ba naalala nyo, binatikos natin dati si ESV? Ang sinabi natin, ES, pagalawin mo na ang baso. Yung ibang USEC, wala pang appointment paper or designation letter or designation paper. Ito po yun. Tingnan nyo, kailan siya na-designate? July 15. Dapat June 30 pa lang gawa na yan. Dapat po June 30 pa lang gawa na yan. July 15 na gawa. Ito po yung sinasabi natin before na delayed ang pagbigay ng designation and appointment papers. Ito po yun. Bakit galing sa office ni ESB? Tsaka nakapirma si ESB. Ayan ba't siya nakapirma dyan? Natural, lahat ng appointment papers nanggagaling sa Office of the Executive Secretary. Ganun talaga. Ganun talaga. Lahat po yan nanggagaling sa Office of the Executive Secretary. Bakit? Siya yung humahawak ng Office of the President. This is an appointment paper, guys. This is an appointment paper. Hindi po ito written authority para pumirma etong si Sebastian, si Yusek Sebastian or former Yusek Sebastian on behalf of President Bongbong Marcos sa Sugar Regulatory Administration. Wala dyan, kahit basa-basahin yan. Wala kayong makikita dyan na Sugar Regulatory Administration. Bakit kailangan siyang bigyan ng blanket authority to sign contracts, memoranda of agreement, administrative issuances, etc., etc.? Kasi siya ay na-appoint bilang USEC for operations. Sa ibang kapag titingnan niyo sa corporate world, ang tawag dito ay Chief Operations Officer. Paano mag-ooperate ang DA kung walang pipirma para sa DA, Department of Agriculture lamang? Kasi ang lagi lang sinasabi, ayan may authorized, etc., etc. Tapos sign contracts, ganyan. Ano ba yung sinabi ni Sec Trixie? Di ba sabi ni Sec Trixie, hindi kasama dyan yung sa Sugar Regulatory Administration. So, pwede ba? Ulit lang mga kaibigan, hindi sa pinagtatanggol natin or pinagtatakpan natin si ESVIC. Hindi natin siya pinagtatakpan. Ang sinasabi lang natin, kung magpapakita kayo ng dokumento, galingan nyo. Galingan nyo. Kasi, wala to. Mahina to. Hindi ito ebidensya na si ESB Rodriguez ang nagbigay ng written authorization dito kay former USEC Sebastian na pumirma para sa sugar order. Yun din po yung sinabi kanina ni Chief Presidential Legal Counsel JPE, Juan Ponce Enrile, kasi kailangan expressly written yung authorization. Designation paper to Ayan appointment letter to Hindi naman to. Di ba? So ayun mga kaibigan. But anyway, sorry. Kung magpapakita kayo ng mga papeles, next time, ang ipakita nyo yung naka-indicate mismo yung Sugar Regulatory Administration. Kasi hindi ito yon. Hindi ito yon, guys. Kung sino man ang nagkalat nito, hindi ito yon. Kay Daily Tribune ko to nakita eh. Parang sinabi pa yata ni Daily Tribune na masyado rong broad ang designation ng ang otoridad na ibinigay kay Leocadio Sebastian. No, hindi po. This is with regard to the operations of the Department of Agriculture only. Hindi kasama dyan yung mga attached agencies niya tulad ng Sugar Regulatory Board. So, I guess that's it. Na-clarify tayo dito dahil sa sinabi ni Chief JPE. Buti na lang. But there, I guess that will be it for us today. It was a very, very short interview kay Chief JPE because I was also, iniisip ko rin kanina, his age, syempre gusto natin hindi siya masyadong nape-pressure, hindi siya masyadong napapagod kasi na-mention nga niya kanina 98 years old na siya. Tapos meron pa siyang meron pa siyang nagka-COVID pa tsaka pneumonia. Diyos ko. Pero ang tibay ni ni Chief. Nagka-COVID na tsaka nagka-pneumonia. Pero lakas pa rin, guys. Tindi. Ang tindi ni Chief. But, mga kaibigan, I agree doon sa sinabi ni Chief Legal Counsel ng presidente natin. Less talk, less mistakes. Sa dinami ng tinok, ayun. Ang dami kasing nag-talk eh. Ang dami nanguna. So, yun, mga kaibigan. Okay, so medyo, I guess, meron na tayong konting, clarity. But again, this is a developing story. Uusad pa to kasi may investigation na gaganap. So, we have to keep monitoring yung developments nito. But right now, yung document na kumakalat, that is a designation paper or appointment letter, hindi po yan basis para i-implicate si ESVIC dito sa issue ng SRO. Kailangan po, ang ipakita nyo, wag yun. Yung sinasabi na naka-indicate mismo doon sa sulat na si ESVIC ang nagbibigay authority kay Yusek Sebastian na siya ay pwedeng pumirma on behalf of President Bongbong Marcos sa papeles ng Sugar Regulatory Administration. So yun, mga kaibigan. I hope mas malinaw na, no? I hope mas malinaw dahil sobrang let's not put kaya hindi ako pumapatol sa mga conspiracy theory pero right now sabi nga ni Chief JPE, this is still speculative. Wala pa tayong makukuha diyan. Investigation is ongoing. We can only but speculate. That's it. Kaya nga hindi niya sinagot yung tanong ko eh. Kaya hindi sinagot yung tanong ko eh. Kaya nga ganun. Yeah, we can only but speculate. But that's what politics is all about, di ba, sa Pilipinas? Speculating, chismis making, etc. So, ayan. Sobrang clear na thank you, Coach. Sabi ni Joanna Dichoso. Thank you very much. And I believe, well, whoever you want to believe, bahala kayo. I mean, pwede kayo makinig sa kung kanin-kaninong vloggers, kung kanin-kaninong anchors, reporters, whoever. Pwede kayo makinig sa amin lahat. Walang problema. But at the end of the day, kayo po ang magdidesisyon kung ano ang inyong papaniwalaan. Yun. So, it's up to you. So, there mga kaibigan, ito na po ang ating live stream for today. Once again, thank you very much po kay Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile for inviting for di pa na for inviting for for joining us today. And syempre willing daw siyang bumalik basta daw relevant sa pagpoprotekta sa opisina ng President Bongbong Marcos yung pag-uusapan. So there. So that's all for today. And I hope you enjoy your weekend. God bless all of you, and I'll see all of you in our next Coach Jarret Live. Bye everyone, and I'll see all of you next time. Bye.